Yes, patience has got to be a virtue. So here we go. We are well and truly dry, and the tide is still going out ever so slightly. See it flowing past the buoys there. A few ducks coming down the river. 4 ducks. Oh, 3 boys and 1 girl. Gosh. Guys, too much competition. You need to go and find 2 more girls. Look at this. Alright, so we're just going to wait a while for me to be able to get out, I assume. 1 hen and 2 males. One guy took off. A hen flew over and he shot off after it. So, wonder which one's going to win, eh? There you go. Got your train going over the viaduct. Look at that. He's a clever boy. Right, let's go. Just having to absolutely creep along here. We're pretty much low tide now, and every now and then just starting to touch the bottom. Amazing. Out here, look to the side, look at all that stonework. I mean, that's incredible. It's all stonework that was done a long time ago, and there's timber in front of it in places. So I'm thinking it probably was planked at one stage, but that's all been done by hand all along the edge of the river. Every time there's an old homestead, and up and behind that wall, or the river edge, there was a very old man-made wall, which at some stage has obviously been somebody's home. And I don't know if you can see that up there, look. Just sticking up above the trees, obviously something to do with mining. Massive, well, chimney, I assume. I'm going to see if I can find out what that is for you, because that's fascinating. It sticks up, 100 feet at least. Anyway, pretty much low tide now, I think. There's still flow out, actually, still flow out, but not a lot. I would think. Yeah, look over to the side there again, look, see that? All the timber that's up against the wall, and I think there was planks on it at one stage, and then all those stones laid vertically, side on, to create a riverbank, or to create a retaining, actually. Probably when the mining was being done, I think. So it's a long time ago. It's really neat being up here at absolute low tide, just seeing just how shallow it is. You know, and in the tender it's so safe. You can just go along nice and slowly. If you feel like you're going to touch anything, or if you just start to touch, you can just throttle back, raise the motor a bit. That's what we're here to do, explore. That is all laid by hand on that bank. They've taken the stones that are that way and turned them like that. And now that is a handmade wall all the way along there. And it goes for hundreds of metres. Unbelievable workmanship. Unbelievable. the way along it, you can just see little streams of water coming out that obviously fills up the... See, look at that in there. There's a bit of timber coming out of the riverbank with a metal collar around it, and then a a horizontal piece of timber between two posts. So that was there just to hold it. There's an old building way in the back there, covered in ivy, stream that goes through and obviously fills up the other way when the tide's in. Big planted fir forest behind it. There's an old building with a gantry up ahead here. Yeah, something went on there. That's major works, eh? That has to be something to do with mining. Something had to pay for that. This bank along here that you can see on the right, that is all vertical stones, and it's stoned up to about a height of about 3 meters. So that all had to be dug out effectively to get a foundation in there, the stones right down to the low water point, and then built up to around 3 meters. And then I guess it's all filled in behind. I wonder if that's the spoils of the mining in behind there. You can just see the building coming up ahead. I'll try and do a little bit of research and just see if I can find something out. But yeah, we're out in the back country of Devon here on the starboard side. I'll do my best to find out what that is. It really intrigues me. Really does. Should really try and get out of the tender and go and have a look, but I'm a bit nervous about mine shafts and that, to be honest. Hanging off that gantry is a winch, and it's orange painted. It's still not that old. Galvanized fence in the back there. Wow. Yeah, that's not 100 years old. That's a little bit more recent than that. Fascinating. Just fascinating. Looks like up here I might actually be at a point where I can't go any further until the tide came in. I'll just very quietly head over to this area on the left, but I don't think I'm going to get through there. I mean, obviously when the tide comes in I will, but just see, we'll go real slow. Might just get through if I go for the V there. That'll be the deepest point. Let's see if we can get through, eh? Got a funny feeling we might be able to. Water's accelerating a bit through there, so there's more volume coming through. Let's put a little bit more power on. Might just get through here. A little bit more power. See the V in the water? You can just look at that. Woohoo! I can see the bottom out the side here. No, we're going to be deep enough. Oh, that is so cool. Ha! We got through. Check that out. Check that out. I'll just turn it around so you can see behind us there. Look at that. I'll get out the way. That was cool. That was cool. Woohoo! far as we can go. What a shame. What a shame. I could just sit down here and just wait for the tide to come in. Can't be too far off. Sitting here and see if it changes soon. We should be able to just see it change. I'll just tie onto this little twig up the front of us here. Okay, so this is pretty amazing. I've not been able to get past there. So there's a bit of debris in the river. Zoom in there for you. And there's all shingle and that beyond it. Now what's amazing is you see the flow of water there. It's quite strong still. But what I'm noticing, just sitting here in 5 minutes even, the noise is dropping. And it's dropping because the tide is very quickly rising from downstream. And I can tell that the tide is coming in because the water is literally over 3, 4, 5 minutes slowing up right in front of me. And I've got a couple of sticks out here that I'm looking at, one straight ahead of me. It was literally 6 inches, 150 mil below it 5 minutes ago. Now it's almost covered. So I reckon if I just hang around here for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to be able to go up there. It's happening so quickly. So as that tide comes in, because yesterday I left Plymouth at 2 o'clock, if you think, and I came up here for 2.5 hours. By the time I got up here, the tide was right up against the green growth there. And it's now 2:30. So it doesn't take long. It is rising as we speak. Very, very quickly. It's amazing. I've just never noticed a tide coming in like that. But yeah, it's going up real quick. So 10 minutes ago, I couldn't get up here. And you could hear the water coming over that little brook up there where the tree is. Literally 10 minutes later, I can now get over here. It has gone up, I would say, a foot minimum in 10 minutes. And the flow, idle like this, I'm at idle now, just idle forward, and I was going backwards. Now I'm going up the stream. It won't be long. I'll just see if I can puddle up here. Before we got snagged on the shingle. And again, you see ahead of us there's a V. So I'm just going to very, very slowly go up to it. You can see where the V is, slightly to the right. You've got that bit of timber on the left, and then on the right, sorry, on the port, on the starboard, you've got those vertical bits of timber, and the V in the water is ever so slightly starboard of centre, and that is the deepest channel. So we're just going to very quietly puddle up, any sign of contact, and we'll just come straight back to idle. If I have to replace a propeller every now and then to have this adventure, I don't care. Here we go. You're with me, real time. There's a log going right under here. There you go, we're through. Check that out. A bit deeper now, so I can just put the prop down a little bit. Here's the next challenge up here. Let's just have a look at that. We're in this pool. Just see where the deep bit is again. Go on the outside of the current. It's where it's always deepest. And there's a V ahead on the port side again. So where the V is, I think we're going to be able to go through. Let's see. Just stay with me here. Starting to run out of battery. I didn't think I'd be doing that much videoing, but no, we're going to go on the starboard side of this. It's the outside of the bend. It's where it'll be the deepest. Let's see what happens. I can see ahead probably a bit better than you guys can. No, we're okay through here. We're okay. That is great. Water flows around here all the time, so it slowly scours it out. Let's go. So all these banks on both sides are retained with schist. I just can't comprehend the work, the manual labour required to do that. There's massive deposits of schist on the side of the river that's obviously been brought up by barge from somewhere and dropped there, and then in different places there's beautiful work done with schist, slate, but it just amazes me the labour required to do this. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of metres, kilometres, miles, one after the other along both sides of the bank. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I will try and see if I can find out about it, but cannot comprehend the work. Well, I think that really is about as far as I can come, don't you? Look at that weir. And I know that's on the map somewhere, so at least I can work out exactly how far I've been and show you on a map. But maybe the tide would get up high enough for me to go up there, but it just feels like this is it somehow. And there's weirs above that as well. Oh yeah, big high weir up the back there. Wow. Okay, this is it. Back we go. That was pretty cool. Loved it. Right, I think we can just go down at idle. Go nice and slow because there's still the odd shallow bit, but it's going to be getting deeper and deeper as I go down. Fascinated to see what it's like where I came between those logs, eh? But I'll measure and see how far up I came. I think we'll probably come up another 5 miles at least, so we're 20 miles above Plymouth. And this apparently is the end of the tidal area. I did get told this morning that there are yachts all the way up here, but haven't seen one. So anyway, I think I went past a town somewhere where that big boat was and where the big wheel was, but anyway, we'll have a look on the way back. This is where we came up between those logs. Look at it now. Unbelievable. So we just tread very carefully through here. Once we get up by this little island, I'm just going to drift through with the engine up. It's a bit of a V off to the right here. That's the deep water. Amazing. All those logs are down in there now. That's it over there actually. Let's go over here. There are the trees that were vertical, remember, coming up. And on the starboard side is the submerged one, so yep, we can go through here pretty safely. And it's flat calm, look. Tide's equaling, in fact it's coming upstream now. You can just see it past that bit of timber out there. It's flowing past. Wow, that came up quick. All right, away we go. What an amazing morning. Well, what an amazing stay up the Tamar River. I have tamed the Tamar. Went right up to the weir. I'm pretty sure it's another 5 miles further than where I was anchored. Last night, I think we just touched the bottom. Only just. The sonar just went all blurry, and then I went out the front at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and one of the bridle lines was tight and the other one was just a little bit loose. So I've got a feeling we just touched the mud bottom. Certainly didn't feel anything, and the boat wasn't tilting one side or the other. I knew it was going to be close, and it was a fairly big tide last night. So yeah. But I was initially a bit annoyed with myself. Then I thought, well, hang on a minute, Mark, you knew that was a possibility of happening, and you considered it and accepted that the keel may just touch. Anyway, wake up this morning, shrouded in mist. I mean, you can see it out there. It's just starting to clear off now as the sun comes up, but absolutely beautiful. Now I have to go now. I don't want to sit there and have the keel touch again, and I've got another low tide between when I've left and leaving at 6:30 tonight. I mean, it would have been great to stay there, but hey, going down the river in these conditions is just amazing. So yeah, it's a good time to leave. Good depth under me. There was about 1 metre already gone, but that's off a high tide. It's quite a high tide at the moment. So I've got no issues with heading down. I'll keep a close eye on everything. Beautiful out there. Beautiful marshes, the spring just starting to grow underneath in those reeds, getting the green in them, which you see every time the tide goes out. But yeah, it's been a pretty special experience actually coming up here. So pleased I did it. What a neat weekend I've had. What a neat weekend. Right, water's 12.25 degrees Celsius, and we had 13.9 miles to run today. This whole week, temperature's supposed to get up to 24, 25. The locals are saying it always happens like that. It's cold, and then all of a sudden, summer's here. So it looks like being really nice weather ahead. Thursday, of course, I'm heading up for Renee's birthday, but tomorrow, really cool. Got John Deere coming, got the Webasto people here in the afternoon, and on Wednesday I've got Garmin. So that'll be the 3 biggies at least looked at solutions found, hopefully, and get underway sorting things out. So yeah, feels like it's going to be a really cool week. Coming into quite a misty area, you can see up in front there. Visibility is not too good. Got the navigation lights on. I can still see 300 or 400 meters, but got to keep going. Neat thing is, I came up this river and I know I was well clear of everything at a rising tide, and I'm just checking very carefully that the route back down is following the route I came up. So yeah, should be good. Should be good. Okay, I've got the radar up now. Visibility not quite so good, especially with the sun in your eyes a bit. But as I say, following the route I took in, I know that's clear of everything. And with the radar up, I can start seeing if there's any boats ahead of me, particularly those moored. The only thing it may not pick up is mooring buoys, but I can see those well enough. I get some forward warning of those. So yep, not ideal conditions, but using the gear, and I feel safe. I'm safe, no problems at all. 3 meters of depth below the keel. What a gorgeous day. Alright, so slight change of plan. Here is Plymouth down here in Plymouth Harbour, but up here off to the starboard is Tamar River. So there's beautiful anchorages up in there. So it's going to be such a nice day. I'm going to head off up to an anchorage up here, and there's a nice military ship up there that's been there for a long time to show you on the way past, and we'll anchor there for the night, and then come out early tomorrow morning to go into town for the maintenance. So yeah, we're just coming down here past the Tamar Bridge, then we're going to hook off to the starboard and we'll go up to this anchorage here, and it looks like you can see there, little green triangle, there is somebody already anchored in there. great trip down the Tamar. How cool was that? Alrighty, so just giving her every couple of days 5-minute or 10-minute run at 80% power. Been told it's a beautiful little bay up in here, so thought while I got the chance, why not? So this is permanently berthed here. Frigate, destroyer, don't know. Somebody will know. Come on, what is it? Frigate or a destroyer? Flags are still on it. Pretty old boat. Still even got the timber on it. Alright, up there by that other yacht, we will anchor. How cool. Alright, there we go. Anchor alarm is on. Out goes the anchor. It was pretty good. All anchored up. First go took about 2 minutes. Great little spot, I think. And we got here at 09:50. So it was 1 hour and 30 versus 2 hours 40 going up. What a great trip. Absolutely loved it. That was magic. One of the highlights. Alright. Cup of coffee, tidy up. Right, so got to do the maintenance on the oil pump for the high pressure pump for the water maker system. So I'm going to use this quicksilver thing here. So basically I can put the syringe in there in theory and just get the oil out of here. It's not much. Works really well, look. Then you can basically put it back in the same way. Well, reverse obviously. Put it in the reservoir and back into the pump. Alright, so old yogurt containers are great for putting things in. So here now we will just put nice clean oil back in until it fills up to the required line. Alright, Yachtways sent me a message this morning. The boat maintenance app, and it said, Mark, you need to change the oil filter on your Cummins generator and also check the anode. So there's the anode that I've had in stock for a while, and here is a new oil filter. So I've done this once before. I'll just do it really quickly for you. Obviously we've got to drain the oil first. So here's our oil change system. Here's my dirty oil container. Let's bring out my hose. Goes in there. And we turn on the generator. Alright, so I use a plastic bag and a glove. Plastic bag to go under the filter and over it, and then that way we don't hopefully get any leakage. It is the plastic bag up around the filter, cloth underneath just in case, and it's only done up finger tight plus 1/3 of a turn, so I can normally get it undone by hand. Let's see how. Here we go, it's coming away nicely. Keep turning, always takes more turns than you think. And the neat thing about Yachtwave is all those little things that you should check every maintenance period are included. So here we go, look, she's dropped. So I'm just going to leave it there for a second, just let any oil drip into the bag. You know, like checking the V-belt, looking for signs of leakage and that. I know it's all really obvious, but basically by just getting the torch you can have a look in there, and I can see that V-belt is still in fantastic condition. And looking under here, there's no leakage, no oil anywhere. I'll just pull the dipstick out so it lets a bit of air in. That'll let the extra oil get out. Just bring that plastic bag up over there. That's it, Mark. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's the oil filter off. Now I'm just going to pump some 15W40 into the filter. So that's already full when it goes in. We'll get that on, and then we can fill the 4.5 litres needed for the generator. Right, this is just a little bit fiddly. I'm trying to get this in. It's fairly tight space, but it's not too bad. Biggest thing is not to try and slop any of the oil. There we go, and obviously not to cross thread it. Whoop. Let's get some bit more light in there for you. Another hand free now. There you go. So you look, put that up. Right, so it says until it's finger tight, and then you've got to do another third of a turn. So we'll get that on and we'll fill up. Alright, the valve's open to the engine. Put the line in the 4.5 litres. Generator's open, line's open on here, so then we go fill. There you go. Sucking out and nicely filling the generator. And what we're going to do is check the dipstick to make sure that it's at the right amount. Give it a few minutes to settle down, and we'll do a engine run just to test it. Good on Mr. Onan. Look at that. Zinc. I'm surprised I don't remember that from last time, because it's the second time I've done that, but shows where my brain's at. Anyway, that just pops off. I'll sort that and we can get the zinc changed. That's pretty cool. Alright, there you go. It's down to being fairly small, so that definitely needs replacing. Okay, this could be fun. So we don't want to drop this. I've got to be pretty careful here. It's very difficult to see, so I'm going to go and get my mirror. So I can see in there with my mirror and the torch, and I can see that the anode's in the hole. I just got to hope that it's not cross-threading, so I'll just put the socket in there again and just gently see if I can keep turning it. And that should be okay. Okay, you can feel when that's going on nicely. You can just tell. Alright, so we've got the filter on. I've checked the oil level, had to take a wee bit out, it was a little bit over full. And we've got the zinc on, so I think we can start it. Let's go start. Goes through the pre-height, here we go. All done. Well, good morning. Monday 28th, and big day today. John Deere coming and Webasto coming. Only challenges, I have to now travel 6 miles to get to them on the pier. Anyway, as you can see, a bit of fog out there, but it is starting to lift now. It was looking like it was going to be pretty low vis, but sun's come up and thickened up for a while, which is normal, and now it is just starting to clear, and it's 8:19. I need to go in about 10 minutes Basically here I am up the Liner River, come down the Liner, tease into the Tamar, turn to the right and then follow that around all the way across here to the marina, Yacht Haven. That's where I'm going to go onto the dock, onto the visitor dock, and hopefully they got an hourly rate and I'll be able to sit there while the John Deere man looks at the belts and we sort out a few engine issues, and then Robasto are coming at lunchtime. That is my phone going berserk because there's a leak of cooling fluid from the air conditioning in the lazarette, and they got me to take this panel off here, which I've done. That's Robasto as well, and I had to check up in the top here what the bar on that gauge is, and it should be between 1 and 2, and it's 0. That's with the system running. So anyway, another issue to deal with, and you know, who knows, I don't think that was registered either, so there'll be an argument there, but we'll sort it out. I'll get ourselves set up and we'll get underway.
It's going to be a few hours, are you?
Yeah, not sure yet, because you know what it's like when they start doing something. I've got the John Deere guy coming this morning, and then at lunchtime Gavin's going to come, but it may be that I end up having to stay the night, but we won't know until a bit later on. So it's a 2-deck trip boat as I'm coming up, and then you've got that big pontoon that goes along the riverfront, obviously. Is it on there?
Yeah. It's right early on in the marina, you'll see.
Okay, even I can't cock that up, eh?
Well, I can't answer that.
Okay, perfect, buddy, that's magic.
Alright,
Hey, no, it's great, it's fine, no problem at all. Cheers, eh?
Okay, cheers.
Thank you, bye-bye. It went up the Tamar River. Man, it's beautiful up there. It really was. Yeah, it's just up there is amazing. amazing day I've had. Like, I mean,
Collision alert. Starboard bow.
really amazing. So much to tell you about.
Collision alert.
I have just
Starboard
learned
bow.
so much from Barry from John Deere. Unbelievable. And so many questions to ask. Anyway, getting away from Yacht Haven, they were fantastic. They just let me come and stay on the pier. There was no charge for it, so I'll try and use them if I can at some stage. And now just going to head out to Jenny Cliff Bay that you all know pretty well by now. Here for the next 2 days. I'll go and do some shopping tomorrow, get a cup of coffee probably at number 1 coffee shop. Then on Wednesday got Garmin coming. That's going to be a big day. Oh boy, that's going to be a big day. Yeah, and then Thursday off up to London. So away we go. Back in Jenny Cliff Bay. Look at that gorgeous view. Oh my goodness. There's something heartwarming watching your washing drying on the line in the evening sun. Perfect. More and more boats coming out these days. There is a ketch at the back because the mast at the back is lower than the mast at the front, and it's in front of the rudder post. I think that's it. Am I getting there? I'll just zoom in for the experts, because man, the answers I got to the last one, there was too much to remember. Anyway, I think it's a ketch. Gorgeous evening, and everybody's turning up on the cliff top there to see the sunset. It's pretty cool. English Navy supply ship being taken into the docks, I assume. Seems to be a lot of work being done in there, so I'm figuring that's where it's going. 3 tugs, and then out in front of it, right in the sun there, so you probably can't see it, there's a police escort. They take it all pretty seriously over here, just moving Navy ships around. I don't know why the police get involved, but still. And they're towing, so at night we would see the 3 white lights on top of each of those tugs to indicate that there are cables obviously between them and the ship between them. Towing at a reasonable speed actually, and it looks like they've got a bit of propulsion on the main ship as well, so obviously not just pulling it along completely, but oh, good morning. 30th of April, May Day tomorrow, Nuna's birthday, or Renee's birthday. Looking forward to going up there. So today is Groundhog Day. For those of you that have been following me for any period of time know my frustration with the Garmin autopilot. So today, Garmin are coming to Awanui NZ. So I'm not going to video us going onto the dock. We did that the other day, exactly the same dock. A little bit sporting wind today, so it could be entertaining, but I might just stick the camera on the side view, just so we can see that if anything untoward happens. But yeah, a little bit breezy out here, nor'easter up to 15-20 knots, but a beautiful blue day. And you know what? Today could be a big day for me. If we can get the autopilot issue at least being dealt with, then man, we're really starting to tick boxes. We are really starting to tick boxes. So yeah, had a little friend come in here last night, parked beside me. We were both swinging around a bit. Could have got quite close, I suppose, but he seemed to know what he was doing. And I mean, that's what it's like in the summer anyway. But look at that lovely spring morning in Plymouth. Let's get going. Right, so here is the Garmin box look with all the spare parts.